All right, guys, I'm pulling up the stream here on my MacBook Air. Make sure it's muted. Okay. So I just got the Clicks keyboard for my Motorola Razr 2025, and I actually have the video uploading right now of the unboxing and kind of like the first impressions. But I noticed some things, and like I said in the video, I had been reading Reddit about some of the flaws um, that the keyboard seemed to have, and it looks like they are they're not wrong. At least not right away. So I've got my Clicks keyboard here. I really like the design. I really like how it feels and how it types and stuff like that. It's very nice in that aspect, but it's got some bugs. It's got some quirks that I noticed right away. So one of the things that somebody had said is that when you plug the phone into charge, it was crashing the keyboard. And I was like, okay, that seems kind of like a weird thing to happen. So I had my Anker power bank here, you know, pretty standard, should be able to charge just fine. And I was like, let me plug it in and let me see if I can get it to do it, because it doesn't seem to do it every time, but the very first time I plugged this phone in with the keyboard, it did it. So I'm just gonna plug the phone in, just like you should be able to, and we'll see it starts charging here. It says turbo power. You can see the charging speed right here on the power bank. So we're gonna give it a second because I didn't open the phone right away last time. I just plugged it in to charge, and it charged for about 5 or 10 seconds, and then it just stopped charging. And right now it seems to be okay. And when this happened, I opened up an app and I went to type something on the keyboard, and the on-screen keyboard came up, and it was like the keyboard was no longer connected. And I took the phone off, plugged the keyboard back in, and then the keyboard started working again, and it started charging again. So I don't know if this is happening, you know, every time, or if this is a sporadic issue. Right now I'm using the same charger again. We're still able to charge, no issue there. So as you can see, the phone still says it's charging, which when it did this before, it actually fully stopped charging. I can still type, so that is good. I'm figuring out some of the shortcuts on the keyboard, so it's a little bit easier to use now. I really like it. It's really nice. I mean, obviously the phone's super long right here, but like when you close it, like to respond to like a text message or something, I got face unlock enabled too. I can see what is do the fingerprint. So yeah, it's kind of weird. There's some quirky things about it. So if I want to post like a tweet, I can do, you know, hello. I wish I could kind of not have to bring this up. Maybe I can check and see if there's a setting for that. If anybody knows, let me know where this big text box window comes up. I just want to type right here in the default Twitter window without having that come up. That's kind of annoying because it blocks all the other Twitter interface. You don't really know what you're doing. So there's that. As you can see, charging device via USB. We're still charging. We're charging pretty fast too. It's gone up 2% already. So it seems to be working now. But like I said, the very first time that I plugged in the phone, it crashed the keyboard and it completely stopped working. The keyboard stopped working, the charging stopped working, everything. And if that is something that happens regularly, that's going to be quite annoying, because if you plug your phone in at night and the keyboard app or whatever controls the pass-through charging crashes and your phone stops charging in the middle of the night, that's going to be quite an issue. So you know, I'll have to watch out for that, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm going to try to see if I can get it to do it again here. Let's open up the phone and unplug it and plug it back in and see. Turbo power connected, 87% charging. All right, we're charging again. I don't really care about the charging speed necessarily. I mean, the phone's at 87%. It's not going to charge super quick. So maybe that's something too we need to try, is maybe we need to have the phone at a lower battery percentage and see if maybe if the wattage increasing causes this to be an issue, and maybe it gets to a certain wattage and then it stops the charging. I'll go to Reddit here. This is what I was talking about. Pass-through charging crashes phone. Now, it didn't crash my phone per se, but it crashed the actual keyboard, whatever controls the keyboard. Yeah, so I don't know, they said they're using the Moto like turbo power, um, charging 100-watt wall wart. This phone's capable of 68 watts of charging, I believe it is. Or no, this one's not 68 watts. I think this one's 30 something watts. I don't know why I thought it was 68. But some of the Ultras, I know this, people are saying this is an issue on the Ultra too, which the Ultra does charge at a higher wattage than my base model right here. So maybe it is a wattage issue. Maybe the wattage is freaking out the keyboard or something. So I'm gonna let the battery drain back down a little bit. It's gonna take quite a while. It was around 76%, I think, when this first happened. And the only other issue I've really had with the keyboard is when you press a button. Now this isn't specific to the Clicks keyboard, I don't think. This is kind of a quirk with a hardware keyboard and Android in this phone mixed together, I'm pretty sure. But if I hit something on the screen, you can see it kind of turns gray right there. And then if I put the screen to sleep, the always on display, it's still on the lock screen, or it's still awake right now, but the always on display, there you go. You can see the always on display is not actually turning the screen off as it should. It's gray, and you actually have to like tap the screen. You can see I can tap it right there, and then if I slide, I gotta unlock it. But if I unlock it and then I slide over and slide back, that gray section goes away. It's like something with the keyboard selecting things on screen. Because if I open the phone up and go to the home screen, I can actually use the tab button to kind of tab around the home screen, and it'll actually open. You can actually tab over to like an app and hit enter, and actually use that to open an app or select something on the screen. And I think it's that selection thing on the screen that's doing that on the external display, on the always on display. But that's kind of an issue, because if you accidentally leave it like that, it's definitely going to drain your battery. And you can see you can hit enter and it actually brings that up. So maybe that's like an Android setting that I can turn off. You tap the screen and that goes away. So obviously you don't have that issue on the iPhone one, because it doesn't do all that with the iPhone. I think that's just something with Android and the on-screen keyboard. So I'll have to play around with that. If anybody knows where I might be able to find that setting in Android, I've already been to the on-screen keyboard settings. The physical keyboard settings. Right here, so we go, this is the settings right here, so you can do keyboard shortcuts, use on-screen keyboard, modifier keys, sticky keys, bounce keys, slow keys, all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't, I don't see anything in there where I can turn that off. Maybe we'll go to accessibility and see if there's anything in here. And let's see, the physical keyboard options are the same options that were in the physical keyboard settings. So I don't see anything right offhand that that has anything in here to do with anything being selected on the screen. Now, most of this stuff is turned off anyway, so I'm not too sure. But I'd like to find that setting so I can hopefully disable that and keep the screen from freaking out and all that kind of stuff on here. But like I said, it's really great. I like the keyboard. I like the form factor on this over kind of like what it was on the iPhone. Because on the iPhone, it's of course super long all the time, being a slab phone. But with this phone being folded shut, I think it's very nice, very nice form factor. It's really nice to type like this, to respond to like a message, or do a post or something like that. You can do it very easily with the screen closed now, because you don't have that taking up real estate. So not a bad case. I don't want to bash it or anything like that. I don't want to say that it's completely a flawed product or anything like that, but it definitely has more quirks to work out, I think, with being implemented on Android in a foldable phone than it does when it came out on the iPhone. The one on the iPhone I have no issues with, other than kind of personal preference on the size of it. But other than that, the actual functionality, hardware, software combo works just fine. No issues whatsoever there. But yeah, got to get some of that worked out. I'm going to plug this plug this back in again and see if it does it. Let's see if we can do Gemini right here on the. I don't think it does it while it's locked. Let's see, unlock. What is the charging speed of the Motorola Razr 2025?
Series includes several models and their charging speeds vary. Motorola Razr 2025.
Yeah, so 30.
This base model.
Okay, stop. So it's 30 watts on this one right here. So we're charging, like I said, it was showing about 13 to 15 watts. And that's within the battery, with the battery, you know, above 80%. So that's completely to be expected right there. It doesn't seem to be crashing the keyboard now, so I'm not too sure why it did it the very first time. And like I said, people are talking about that being an issue. So kind of weird that it happened the very first time and now it doesn't want to do it again. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna drain the battery down. I'm gonna drain the battery down a bit and see if it has something to do with the charging speed that might have crashed it. Because right now I'm not too sure, but overall I'm very happy with the case. One other quirk that it has, and this isn't the keyboard's fault, this is a Motorola thing, is the Motorola Razr, and I think other Motorola phones as well, will not wirelessly charge when they have a USB-C accessory connected. So even though there's no power going to the case right now, it's plugged into the phone. This phone will not wirelessly charge with a USB-C accessory plugged in. So this case has a magnet on it right there, but you cannot wirelessly charge with a wireless charger or one of the magnetic ones when it's plugged into the USB-C port. So that kind of sucks because it has a magnet built in, but the only thing you can really use this magnet for is like a wallet case or something like that, because you can't stick it on a wireless charger. It is very easy to remove. Slides in just like that, pop it out just like that. So if for some reason you want to use the phone temporarily without the keyboard, you can, and you can just leave the top half on. You can also put the phone in the case without the top half. It looks kind of weird and it feels kind of weird. It's a little bit harder to grab the phone to open it when it doesn't have this piece on here. So I did go ahead and put it on. One other complaint I saw with on Reddit is that the top piece slides off. I don't know if they just didn't. There is a little sticky adhesive strip right here, and I'm guessing they just didn't peel that off, because I peeled that off, and as you can see, this thing is not going anywhere. There's no pull tab on it, so I can see why somebody might have missed it. But other than that, great case. And I am uploading the unboxing and first impressions of it, where I take it out and actually connect it to the phone for the first time. That's being uploaded right now. So once I'm done streaming here, I'll go ahead and post that. But I just wanted to come on here and see if I could get that issue to happen live. And now, of course, that I go live, it won't do it. So yeah, that is just something right there to keep in mind. I did reach out to Clicks to see if they say anything about the charging and the app crashing and stuff like that. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not going to sit here and wait for the battery to drain back down, because this phone's got pretty good battery life. So it'll probably take me a good 30 minutes to an hour to get it back down to anywhere where it's going to pull any more wattage when I try to charge it. But I'll do a follow-up video. I am going to do a full review on this case, of course. So look forward to that. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will see you guys later. I'm Colin with Tech.